Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Waiting Room, the show that challenges you to thrive, not just survive in every area of your life. This is your host, Ruem, and in this podcast, I will be talking about the lessons we learn from waiting in every season of life. It's all about waiting well. In this episode, I'll be talking about green flags in friendships. This is part 5 in the dating series I have been doing, and as I mentioned previously, I've been reading the book Intentional Relationships written by Courteous and Dan Hook. The link is in the description, and it has a different take on dating and friendships as we know it. So it kind of challenges our approach as far as building relationships and how we start off the dating process. So chapter 10 of the book introduces a concept of intentional relationships. This is a time between just a general friendship when you meet somebody and you get better acquainted with them and your friends, and so between that time and actually dating that person. So they also talk about red, yellow, and green flags to look for in an intentional friendship. The last episode I talked about yellow flags to look for, and the previous episode was the red flags, so you can go back and listen to those to catch up. In this episode, I will be discussing the green flags. So green is good. We like green flags, so that's a sign that the relationship is progressing the way it should be and you are ready for the next stage. All right, so green flags are what we want to find as we get to know someone. Everyone may already have their list of green flags, but I'm going to talk about a few you would hope to see in a close friend or potential mate. So remember, this is a stage you haven't fully started dating and you're still in that neutral zone where you could just stay friends or you could move on to dating and basically no harm done, no hurt feelings. All right, so I have some green flags here. Number 1, their relationship with God comes first, and it is the guiding force of every area of their life. So this means that they're grounded in their faith, especially if that's something important to you. So we know the Bible says not to be unequally yoked, and you want to marry somebody who's an equal, who's at the same level as yours spiritually, and their relationship with God is basically unwavering. It's the center of their life. So, how they spend their time, their money, their energy, all of that is centered around their relationship with Christ. Another green flag is they respect their boundaries. So they understand and value your need of personal space or time alone. They're not smothering you. They're not needy or have any codependency issues. Number 3, they are courteous and kind to everybody, even the server or customer service, or to people who cannot do anything for them. So that's usually a telltale sign about somebody's character, how they treat other people, especially like servers. So if they're kind and they're polite and they treat everybody with respect, that's a green flag. So definitely don't overlook it. Green flag number 4, they ask questions to clarify your intent rather than assuming. So there's nothing worse than assumptions. We always come up to the wrong assumptions. Our perceptions, what we hear, what we see, sometimes is not always accurate. So asking questions, get clarification is a good sign that they want to keep that door of communication open, and they want to understand you better, and they want to be understood as well, and there's no misunderstanding, and the relationship is growing. But if somebody's always jumping to the wrong conclusions and they're not taking the time to get clarification, that's usually not a good sign. Number 5, they compliment and affirm who you are. So they're supportive and they always encourage you, and they don't belittle you if you like something that's different, or if you have a unique hobby or personality trait. They don't make you feel less than what you are. Number 6, they show interest in your well-being. They're concerned with how you're growing personally, how you're growing mentally, physically, and emotionally, all of that. So they want you to be a healthy person, not just themselves, but they're also looking out for you. Number 7, they seek to resolve conflict, and they are forgiving, which is very important, because with any relationships, there are always going to be conflict. And as a relationship grows into dating, and then maybe down the road into engagement and marriage, this is something you want to learn, how they resolve conflicts earlier on, because you don't want somebody who is going to be passive aggressive, or you don't want somebody who has unresolved anger issues and they're just gonna blow up, but somebody who's willing to talk it out and get clarification, and they're forgiving. They put things in the past and they don't hold it against you. So those are things that you're looking for. Those are good signs. All right, number 8, they are dependable. They do what they say, and they say what they do. Okay, so basically they're walking the walk that they're talking, and they are on time. If they say they're going to be there to help you, they're there regardless of how inconvenient it is to them, because they are a person of their word. If they can't, they will communicate ahead of time, and they will try to make up for it or see that you are able to get the help that you need. So you can rely on them. You don't always have to worry in the back of your mind, like, okay, if I make plans with this person, chances are they might not show up, or they might let me down, or they never pay, or whatever the situation is. So being dependable is a green flag. Number 9, they are intentional. They're purposeful, and they plan what's important. Okay, they just don't leave it to happenstance. They are deliberate. They want to spend time with you. They put effort in reaching out to you and communicating with you and other people, family members, or whatever else is going on in their lives. So they are very meaningful in what they do. Number 10 is a green flag in communication. Basically, the ball goes back and forth in conversation. It's not one-sided. They just don't want to talk about themselves and how awesome they are and their accomplishments and what a wonderful human being they are, and totally neglecting to ask you questions and get to know you better. So, and they also remember what you have said. They remember the conversations that you've had, and they recall, names of people or things you have done. So that's a sign that they're invested in you as a person. Number 12, they're passionate about their interests in life and their loved ones. They work to accomplish personal goals. They're not apathetic. They're not unmotivated, because that's just super unattractive. Somebody who has no passion, direction in life, and they're just kind of floating along, not thriving, barely surviving. There's something attractive about people who love life to the fullest, and they're passionate about learning, they're passionate about growing, passionate about building relationships and becoming a better person. So if that's something that's important to you, this would be a green flag. And then the opposite of that is definitely, something you want to stay away from, because unmotivated people, apathetic or complacent people are just a huge turnoff. Number 13, they take care of themselves, mind, body, and spirit. Okay, so this kind of goes along with being passionate about life, but they are actually intentional about growing mentally, spiritually, their relationship with God. They pray, read their Bible, or attend church, and they're changing over time, and they read, or they exercise, taking care of their body, because we only have one place to live, and if we don't take care of our bodies, it's not gonna last very long. So, little things like that, if those are important to you, then these are big green flags. So they're not a lazy bum binging on potato chips after sleeping in on a Sunday, living in their parents' basement. If they're self-motivated and put effort in growing personally, that's a good thing. Number 14, they don't seek to embarrass you or make fun of you. They talk well about you, even behind your back. And this is so important, because if you have somebody who's going to be on your team, you want to make sure they also have your back. They speak well of you. They're always encouraging. They don't try to show the worst side of you or always bring up embarrassing stories to make you look or feel bad or something like that. So you want somebody who's going to basically be your cheerleader and, just encourage you and not be the one making fun of you. All right, so those are just a few. I'm sure you could probably add more, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about green flags and any green flags that are important to you and that you looked for or are looking for in a relationship. So feel free to shoot me a message via email or Instagram or on my website. If you are in an intentional friendship that has mostly green flags, no red flags, then you might be ready to move on to the next stage, which would be intentional dating. So where you are, what season you are, but this is something that you want to really pay attention to, the person you are getting to know, that relationship. Remember, in this intentional friendship phase, it could go either way, and you're not obligated to date this person simply because you're getting to know them. You can decide, we're not the best for each other, we're not equally yoked, but I still want to remain as friends, and I wish you the best, and I do hope you meet somebody that you can be equally matched up with, and I hope you wish the same for me. So that's the nice thing about this intentional friendship phase, is there's no pressure, which is a different approach from the conventional way of dating, where you just meet somebody, decide that you want to date them first before you get to know them, which can be a disaster down the road. And there's a scripture that comes to mind in Philippians. It says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others." And, this is the example that Jesus Christ gave us, to serve others, to love others as we love ourselves, and not to be selfish, because there's a lot of reasons why people enter into relationships. Some they're lonely, and some they have codependency issues, and some really, are wanting a life companion and want to do something for God, and they want to find somebody who, a soulmate, SOLE mate, who they can walk with this journey and have purpose. Check yourself and see what your intentions are. If it's something selfish and vain conceit, then it's gonna come back and bite you, because it's just looking out for your own interests and not the interests of the other person. And you want to be honest with where the relationship is, and not hold on to one simply because you don't want to be alone, or to end it because you feel insecure or they have one yellow flag and you're looking for perfection, which you're never gonna find. All right, so that's just my take, and I do recommend that you pick up the book Intentional Relationships. The link is in the description, and it's a great book if you're single, if you are dating, or in a relationship. In the back, they have over 600 topics you can have, conversations you can have in this intentional friendship and dating phase. So I definitely recommend that you grab a copy. And that is it for today's episode, folks. Thank you for joining me here in the waiting room. Look out for my next episode. In the meantime, please share this podcast. I need your help getting this podcast out. So if you would share it with a friend, somebody you know is in this season of life, or somebody you know would like to listen. And also, I'd love to hear your feedback, your comments, your questions. You can email me at thewaitingroom@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on my website, or you can follow me on Instagram and leave a comment there. All the links are in the description. Until then, take care.